Shalom, family, shalom. It's your brother Isaiah coming back with another video of daily exhortation. Man, got a little intro, but first I want to start this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua. All praises due. Man, well, today's video topic, Salakia, my mind is all over the fucking place, y'all, and this is why I said I got a little intro, man. I'm just so sick of this captivity, man, and it's just so fitting that I'm sick of this captivity today, and I'm just, man, I'm just going through some bullshit, man. It's really all it is. And it really just started today. Man. Having to fucking go into work fucking 4 or 5 hours early, man. They keep you there for 3 hours in a fucking staff meeting. And you got shit to do. And your fucking boss won't pull out the goddamn fucking driveway, man, to let you out so you can finish what you gotta do, man. I got work in 2 hours, y'all. 2 fucking hours. I haven't even got myself settled down yet. Man, it's just some fucking bullshit. I'm sick of this captivity, y'all. I'm sick of it. This tribulation needs to kick off ASAP. Send the crypto. Send all this shit. We need all this shit to go down. I know we're going to be saved out of this tribulation and all that good stuff, but they need to push this by the end of the summer, man. I'm sick of this place. I'm at my latter Salak. I'm at my latter end of patience with this goddamn place, man, and I know y'all feel the same way. This place has gotta fucking go. It's gotta go. It's gotta fucking go. I am sick of this damn place, man. I fucking hate it here. And trust me, when I get my spiritual power, all this anger I got inside me will be taken out on these heathens in 2/3. That's the intro. Let's get to the scriptures. We are going to be talking about today, man. Well, first, I'm going to start off. Today's topic is the end of wicked affliction, but I'm going to go through each and every captivity that we've been through up to America. Of course, I'm going to start with Egypt. I'm just going to give a little introduction to Egypt. I don't have the exact book, but I remember Brother Matthias covering this. So, when we went in Egypt, that was our very first captivity as a people, as the Israelites. We went into Egypt, and basically what happened was, well, let me get a scripture real quick to start it off, because this was prophesied in Genesis that we would be in captivity in Egypt. Let's go to it. It's Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. It's talking about the first Egypt. That was prophecy. Right there. We were in captivity in Egypt for 400 years. And the thing with Egypt is, like I said at the beginning, I believe it's in the book of Jasher. I can't remember, but I know what the Egyptians did is they tricked us over time into captivity, because what they did was basically they would pay us. They would have workers, they would pay us to, kind of, build stuff for them. in their land. You'd be like, yeah, we'll pay y'all. Yeah, we'll pay y'all. Yeah, you just do this, do that. And slowly over time, what they would do is start confusing people, or confusing our brethren. They would, sometimes, pay certain people and pay not others, and then just cause a bunch of confusion. And then eventually, what they would do is just they completely shut it down. They completely stop paying people, all that good stuff. I'm not sure if there's a fly in my car, y'all, or what, but it's kind of driving me crazy. Salakia for that. But yeah, that's basically, how we got into captivity. Is basically we got tricked into it, and the Most High allowed it. The Most High allowed it, and that's at the time, of course, when we were in our youth in the spirit, man. We weren't what we are now. You know, I believe most of us were going through our first lifetime at that point in the first Egypt. We were going through our first lifetime, so um, the Most High wanted to show His power by saving us out of that. So that's why we went through Egypt. But I got some scriptures on it. Let's go to Exodus chapter 1, starting at verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. So Jacob went into Egypt. I believe it discusses this in Genesis the 46th chapter, where he went into Egypt. He moved to Egypt, and he basically multiplied himself there, and that's where we get all the 12 tribes. In Egypt. That's where we started at, or that's where he began to multiply. The 12 tribes. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto this people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Yeah, so we were multiplying a lot, man, and pretty much the way they stopped the way they stopped us, from multiplying so much, is they would, put our men to work, or put our brothers to work, keep them away from, their wives at home. That's how they would, stop that. That was a strategy that they used, because they knew we were the Most High's chosen people, and we were going to multiply. Just like we are in these latter days, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply. And Brother Kafar brought this up, and I believe he's right on this situation. There isn't. This is kind of off topic, but I just want to hit on this. Us, everybody that's, in the Discord, on the front line and the hard line, there's only about 100 of us on there, or close to 100. And we are going to be responsible for bringing in, the 144. We're going to have to multiply, and might take a few generations for us to truly bring forth the 144. Yes, there's other Israelites out, internationally, overseas in that, but where they're about to shut, well, basically they've shut travel down and stuff like that, so they could never truly link with us. They're gonna have to do their thing where they're at, and I guarantee there's few in number, just overseas as well. But there are some Israelites definitely overseas because we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. But when he brought that up and saying that we are going to have to bring forth the 144, throughout, a couple generations before Yahushua comes back, you know, that makes a lot of sense because there aren't many of us out here that get this truth and, that have stepped up, or have accepted that call to, the front line and the hard line that we are building on that Discord. So just wanted to point that out as well with the multiplying thing. Verse 11, Exodus 1 and 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pt.1 and Ramesses. I think that's how you say that. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, just like we are now. We're getting our asses whooped here in America. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him, but if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared the power, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives, and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore the power dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied, and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared the power, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. So, we understand Pharaoh was a wicked ruler, and believe Exodus, the second chapter. Well, we're not going to go into that, but I just wanted to bring up Egypt was our first captivity. It lasted 400 years. It began around 1500 BC. We understand this was before Yahushua. So, yeah, that was our first captivity, Egypt. And, scriptures call this, technically in modern day Egypt today. So, that was our first captivity. And, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we are in our last. And it's about to end very soon. That's why I had to bring up that rant, man. Shit. This captivity's gotta go, man. It's about to end, though. We're very close. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17, and I'm going to go into our second captivity, which was with the Assyrians. And, each and every captivity we got our ass whooped. I don't even think that needs to be stated. That's why I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. I just wanted to go, through the scriptures and show y'all where we've been in captivity each time. So, just for edification's sake, and I will probably go into, a little bit more depth on this captivity, because this was the longest one. And, the scriptures have a lot to say about this captivity specifically. So, but the Assyrian captivity, we were put in captivity in 720 BC to the Assyrians. And let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Habar by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. So they just ransacked, they basically, ransacked, what does the scripture say? In the 9th year of Hoshea. Yeah, just the king of Assyria, he basically ransacked us, man. Came in, carried us away as captives, just like that. Through the will of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, of course, because, he went off. He went off. And, once we started going off, the Most High allowed, he was like, alright, that's it. Got to teach y'all lesson number 2. So this was lesson number 2 for us. And let's continue reading now. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. So, doing the same shit, going into idolatry, going off, not worshiping Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, putting other things before him. We still do it to this day. That's why the scriptures say, there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing is new. We still do the same shit to this day. We got our people worshiping Cracker Jesus. Got people worshiping these celebrities. Our people worshiping these celebrities, man. It's all these idols set up to keep us distracted and away from our power, man. It's the same bullshit we was doing then, and we're doing it now. Verse 9, and the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their power, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set up images and groves in every high hill, and under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger. For they served idols, whereof the Lord had said unto them, Ye shall not do this thing. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Notwithstanding they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in the Lord their power. Still stiff-necked, still hard-headed, still not wanting to listen to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. Yeah, we still do it to this day. Some people still even do it in this truth. We still do shit, that we're not supposed to be doing. You know, we understand that we're under the law of liberty, but sometimes we can just get caught up in the ways of this world, man. We gotta let that go, man. We gotta let every single attachment that we have to this world go. We're still fighting. We're still fighting. That last little bit, but since we're part of the elect, man, hey, eventually when it comes down to it, we're gonna let every attachment that we have to this world go. All through the spirit. So we ain't gotta worry about that, but we gotta build on that, now to get out of that, mindset of holding on to this or that. Because once he turns us up, man, that's it. That's it. That cold spirit's gonna overtake us, and we're gonna do, exactly what we need to do to protect ourselves and to, meet up at the rally point. Verse 15, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers and his testimonies which he testified against them, and they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their power, and made their molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. Also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Syria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria, and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Man, the Most High is King of terrors, man. King of terrors sent lions out there to scare their ass. He was like, y'all don't want to fear me after I got y'all out of Egypt? Okay, send the lions on them. Send the lions on them. Just like that, man. Most High don't give a fuck. If you don't want to listen to him, man, hey, he's gonna do something to scare you. Verse 26, wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria knew not the manner of the power of the land. Therefore he had sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they knew not the manner of the power of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the power of the land. Then one of the priests whom they carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear the Lord. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own, put them in the houses of the high places, which the Samaritans, I can't say how you say the Samaritans, Salak, had made every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. And the men of Babylon made Succobenoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima, and the Avites made Nebas and Tartak, and the Servites burnt their children in fire to Adramelech and Anemaka, the gods of Sepharvaim. Oh man, that was a really tongue twister, man. I could not get those names down. Slakia, y'all. So they feared the Lord and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Lord and served their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence. Unto this day they do after the former manners. They fear not the Lord, neither do they after their statutes or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel, with whom the Lord had made a covenant and charged them, saying, Ye shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourselves to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them. But the Lord who brought you up out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm, whom shall ye fear, and him shall ye worship, and to him shall ye do sacrifice. And the statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you, ye shall observe to do for evermore, and ye shall not fear other gods. And the covenant that I have made with you, ye shall not forget, neither shall ye fear other gods, but the Lord your power ye shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies. Howbeit they did not hearken, but they did after their former manner. So these nations feared the Lord and served their graven images, both their children and their children's children, as did their fathers, so do they unto this day. So that was a lot of reading, y'all. So that's what happened in our Assyrian captivity. There, I did read a little bit more, man. I don't know exactly how long we were in Assyria, captive to them, but there rose up several kings against us in that captivity. I believe if you keep reading the book of Second Kings from 17, I'm not sure how many chapters there are. Let me see, because it's 25 chapters, and I just know that there rose up, several kings in that captivity. So we were there for quite some time, captive in Assyria. So that was our second captivity, 780 years. I believe I got that right. After Egypt, we went back into captivity because we don't want to fucking listen. That's why we're in captivity today. Yep, we started the Assyrian captivity in 720 BC. So those were the first two captivities that we went through as a people. Of course, us being hard-headed, we went through some more. I'm going to go into that, the second part. Y'all will see that tomorrow. Shalom to you guys. Shalom to y'all bearing with me, man. Shoot, man. My head is all over the place today, y'all, but I had to get this video out. So basically just a bunch of reading. Like I said, I really don't think I need to go into too much detail on how they fucked us up, other than just reading the passage of us going into captivity. So Lord willing, you guys were edified. Just want to end this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. All praises due. Like I said, this series will probably continue out into the weekend or something like that. So I'll see you on the next video. Shalom.